comes basically the last video of 2016 from Uwe Boll. And yes, it was maybe the worst year for me in the last 30 years, or close to. So, starting on the global thing, the politics go in the wrong direction. Turkey is a dictatorship now. Europe is dissolving with the Brexit. US with Trump or Clinton is turning into even more problems. The Middle East, the refugee problem is a disaster. More denial of global warming is around the corner. So the Earth, as I said in hundreds of my video messages and in Rampage and in the Southern Wall Street and everywhere of my movies, is going bad and down. In 20 years, there are no poles anymore. They will be all melted. And as soon as the ice is melted, there's more capacity to warm up the planet faster as ever predicted. That is natural science, what I just said. That is a fact. You can check it out. And not like Trump's Twitters. So, but on the other level, on my personal and business level, it was even worse. Small stuff, like we needed a second German cook for my restaurant and got 2 times denied in Canada to get the chef in. You have 1,000 Chinese restaurants in Vancouver and 500 sushi restaurants. They're all Japanese, they're all Chinese. And there's only one German restaurant, mine, with a Michelin-star chef. And to say I need one other German chef and you get denied is from Canada a racist decision against Germans. And that fits to this next disaster. The fact that after 3 years of my application, I got the Canadian passport denied. In that 3 years, I did the language test, the historical test, where you have to learn all kinds of facts about Canada. I passed them all, and they said 2.5 years ago, in 3 months you get your Canadian passport. And I didn't. Instead, nothing ever happened. And then I had to pop up in court at 8 o'clock in the morning a few weeks ago. And the old judge said, yeah, you were not enough days in Canada in that specific time period of 2009, 2010, 2011. And I said, yeah, but I wrote that already at the application. Everybody said me that doesn't matter because I worked outside of the country. That was the time where I shot Darfur, Tunnel Rats in South Africa. I shot Barbarella, Blood Rain, Auschwitz, Max Schmeling in Croatia. So it was impossible for me to be enough days in Canada. So, and why a guy like me shouldn't get an exemption of this? If you come in from Pakistan, of course you don't travel, you don't have a passport, you cannot go back to Pakistan, so you fulfill this, but then the other stuff you don't fulfill at all whatsoever, as an example, right? But I brought $270 million to Vancouver and builded the film industry here with 26 movies, employed thousands and thousands of people, paid millions and millions of taxes, are married to a Canadian, have 2 Canadian kids, have my house here, and pay taxes here. And I'm a permanent resident since 11 years. And have a Bauhaus restaurant with 20 employees. And if all that fucking shit doesn't count, then the Canadian government are a bunch of fucking retards and idiots. And that is where my loyalty goes now for Canada. I mean, I was never a fan of monarchy, whatever, would never be a real Canadian thinking Queen Elizabeth is great or something, because queens and kings and all that bullshit should get omitted. And it is a joke that civilization didn't overcome that. But that is only the side plot. The real plot is what a wrong, idiotic decision, how much energy and time and even money I had to put in that bullshit. And that is now completely over for me. But that was by far not all. So I, for example, years ago, I bought a painting. And then the guy, the gallerist, who had that painting for me to offer it for sale, he sold it, but he kept the money, went bankrupt. And this here was the lawsuit about it. And the judge basically felt, I should not get better painting. Like the new owner can just keep it because he bought it in good faith. So another huge financial damage for me this year after 2.5 years of that lawsuit. What is unbelievable. Then I had the Erdogan thing where the Turkish dictator Erdogan, where I insulted him, and then I had to pay a fee to get out of it because the German courts, of course, they prosecute you when you insult a dictator and murderer. Uh, I want to see the same what happens in Turkey if you're a Turkish guy and you insult Merkel. If the Turkish government then prosecutes you, that of course will not happen. They instead give you a free bottle of wine. So yeah, there I had to pay money too, and then it turned out now that they even do a criminal investigation against me about it because I insulted a foreign state official, and it could be that the state prosecutor in Germany will prosecute me for this, with that I could get even a probation jail term for saying the truth about a dictator. That is how the world now goes. You point something out and you get destroyed, and the murderer is free. So there are all stuff, I don't take it so lightly, because it shows also the reflection of the world we are in. And then we're getting bigger. It's like my restaurant is going okay. I mean, it's not going super good, but it's going okay. Make some money, but all the money gets eaten up by the landlord lawsuit I had to do because that guy did anything in the building and breached the lease 100 times, and so that fight will end up next year in May in the trial. But I was the only person as a renter whoever invested in that whole building, and he promised that building is like built in 2 years. It's the pearl of Vancouver's Gastown area. And now we have broken windows upstairs, and because that guy didn't invest it one thing, and he only hopes that I don't pay rent anymore so he can evict me. But I will keep paying the rent, of course. But it's another thing what is not so easy to swallow when you have a positive thing like the restaurant and then overshadowed by a disastrous lawsuit. What eats up the law fees, eats up your money. And then my father died. I just came back from Germany from the funeral, and at 82 years old. And it was not a mega close relationship, but it was, so he was more a yeller, a negative person, but he always was there for me and did everything for me. He copied all my scripts and books. He worked at Bayer Leverkusen, the chemical industry company, and when I was a student or whatever, I said, copy that script. He copied it 10 times, that I could try to get subsidies. Of course, I never got that. So that is the thing, and now my mother is not in so good shape anymore. She has dementia, so that is on my chest. Additional, and then it's the end of my film career. I mean, my whole life since I'm 10 years old, I worked hard to make movies, and since the last 4 or 5 degrading years, with lower and lower budgets and lower revenues and lower chances to make movies. And the fact is, you have the studios with the big shows, and you have TV shows, but I don't get the TV channels giving me money for TV shows, for episodical TV, and that is my end. This year, after 14, 15 years, I didn't went to the American film market anymore. First time my company went out of the International Film and Television Alliance, the IFTA. I'm out of it, and I'm basically done for real. And to say, I mean, it was a long decision. It was clear Rampage 3 is my last movie, and I made it not easy for me, and I tried my best, but I really lost a lot of money in the last 5 years in all the movies, Darfur, Southern Wall Street, Rampage 2, Rampage 3. But then when you reflect, the weather is bad. November is a month where a lot of people do suicide for good reasons. And but you look outside and you think like, you're 51, Uwe, and it's over. Where you really feel like, I think I worked very hard and did a lot of things, more as a lot of people. So so the Uwe Boll bashing and haters can finally applaud themselves. All the reviewers and critics and the people they bash, they whatever, they try to backstab me. And of course also all the distributors who betrayed me, who didn't pay the royalties, who didn't pay the residuals, everybody who stole my movies and pirated them. They can be all very, very happy about the success that finally succeeded. But that is what you get for it.